Hello, you guys. Love, peace, and light once again. I wanted to come on here because, the Lord put it on my heart to, just make a quick video talking about what He wants you to do versus what you want to do. And since I've said that, you guys, now I'm going to elaborate. I know from personal experience, and I do wish that, back in the day, well, I'm only 26, but still, we all make mistakes, right? But mistakes are also meant to be life lessons, and you're not supposed to keep repeating the same mistakes. That's why it's important to have the most high in your life. But you guys, I know from my own personal experiences, I do wish there are certain things I could go back in time and change. Again, doing things doing things God's way versus doing things your way. Now, if you do things your way, you're definitely going to make mistakes, right? Because most of the time when we want things, it's not really what God intends for us or what He wants for us. When we do things our way, most of the time, I'll say like probably 80 or 90% of the time, it ends up being our downfall. It ends up not lasting. It ends up not being sufficient. It ends up disappointing us, hurting us. It leads to, heartbreak, etc., etc. However, when we do things the Lord's way, it may not necessarily be what we want, but it's a definite benefit. And it's a benefit because He's the Most High, He's the Creator, Lord of all lords, Lord of all the worlds. He knows what's best for us because we're His children. Um, and I think this is something that the world needs to know, especially His people. The 12 tribes of Israel. The blacks, the anyone who is a descendant of the slave trade, anyone in the diaspora, and also the remnant that's still in certain parts of Africa and Israel. I apologize for for saying all of that, but I like to cover the whole spectrum because it is important that so-called blacks wake up and realize who they are because we are in the end times. But again, as I stated in a previous video, salvation ultimately is for everyone. Okay, but with that being said, again, the Creator, He knows what's best for us. And again, speaking from experience, and I could give several examples, but most are a little too personal. But for example, me having my child. Clearly, it wasn't by the man that the Creator intended for me. Um, if it wasn't for me doing things my way, things would have turned out a lot better. I wouldn't, quote unquote, be a single parent, you know. And a lot of women and a lot of men make that mistake. We go after individuals who we want, not necessarily who the Creator requires us to be with, because the Most High has a mate for us. He has a spouse for us. And ultimately, that's why it's important to just wait on the Lord to send you someone. And I know that's kind of like a cliche, or it sounds ignorant or foolish or stupid because no one wants to wait forever. Well, that was my problem, because if I would have waited on the Most High, most likely I would have still been a virgin. I gave my virginity to my child's dad at the age of 21. And I should have waited because now I'm a single mom and he's with someone else and has his own family. You know? And that's why it's important, again, you guys, and maybe this video is speaking to someone. It is important for us to wait on God. And even for men, a lot of men out there have children with women that are lunatics. And that's because lust will get you caught up. And you cannot let worldly things, fleshly things like lust, for example, and your own personal wants and your own personal cravings get you caught up to make mistakes. um Again, this is the issue that most people have, and I know it seems hard because, like me, a lot of you guys are like, oh, when I want something, I want it. I want it. When I want something, I want it. And that's what get us caught up, you guys. And me speaking on my daughter, I know that was a little bit too personal and no one needs to know that. But yeah, but that I just use that as the perfect example. I ended up becoming a stigma, a single, quote unquote, black mom. And I never wanted that for my life. I always envisioned myself being with one man, having all of my children by one man. That's why I was saving myself. And it didn't turn out that way. But now I'm making it my business after that one mistake, even though my daughter's not a mistake, but not necessarily waiting on God. Now I know to just stay celibate and, save myself for my husband, the guy who the Most High has for me, because that's what's important. But you do have some women out here, they'll get two, three, well, three, four, five, six, seven, so many different quote unquote baby daddies. They didn't learn from their first mistake. But thank God I learned from, the mishap that I made. But my daughter is a blessing, and I really thank the Creator for her because she is very special and very gifted. But again, you guys, going back to the title of this video, doing things your way versus doing things God's way. And I state so many times when I make these videos, most of the time we just want to do what we want to do. And again, the fornicating, the vulgar language, partying all night long, the drinking, the smoking, serving quote unquote false gods, serving crazy religions, things like that. It is just important to know the Creator for yourself and serve Him the way He intends to be served. A lot of the times we expect blessings from the Creator when we're not even doing what He's requiring of us. The Most High is not like Santa Claus. He is not a wish granter. He is a ruler of everything, of the many realms, of the many dimensions. He's ruler of everything, creator of everything, even the creator of good and evil. All things come from the Most High because He is a dual being, He is a tri being, He is a quad being. He's infinitive, He's beyond infinity. But he's eternal. And because of that, clearly He knows what's best for us. But a lot of times we as humans, we make the mistakes we make the mistake believing that we know more than the Creator. And that is always our downfall, you guys. We do not know more than the Creator. Um, Again, I didn't want this video to be too long, but it was on my heart for a long time to point this out, doing things His way versus doing things our way, because it can really avoid mistakes. Like, so many people in prison, so many people in the grave, so many people who are divorced because they married the wrong spouse. They didn't wait for who the Most High intended for them to marry. So they end up getting cheated on, abused, children get molested by their new mate. You have to wait on the Creator. If we waited on the Creator, there wouldn't be no STDs, no divorces, no strife amongst each other, no drama, no arguments, because the Creator, it is important to follow His laws and follow His order of operations. But because the world wants to do things their own way, look around you. Look at the news. Look at the divorce rate. Look at the murder rate. Look at all of the many people in prison, especially so-called black men in prison. We have to learn to trust in the Lord and wait on Him. It could save you a lot of pain, a lot of hurt. Like, I went through a lot of pain in my life that could have been avoided. All I had to do was wait on the Most High. And I did not. I did not wait on the Most High. And I suffered immense pain in my life because of that. But I'm glad I learned from my mistakes. I learned from my mishaps. And that's why I'm on YouTube right now, trying to make videos to represent Him and get His flock together. Because clearly we're in the end times. We're in the last days, and God wants the Most High. He wants His people to wake up. So again, you guys, once again, maybe this video inspired someone, maybe it encouraged someone. So maybe it helped someone. But again, you guys, all praise is due to the Most High, and love you all very much. God bless.